Hello everyone and welcome to another Lights Up, Lights Down video at the MX5 Restorer. What we've got here is a car that we first featured back in early 2015, I think. It was number 2331 off the production line. We spoke about it a little bit. I can't remember exactly what we spoke about, but there was things about what we were going to do with it in the future and kind of what makes a car special. Obviously, as you can see, nothing's really happened since then. The car went into our storage unit and that's where it sat until today. So what I'm going to do is do a recap of how we found the car, how we got it, and what's been done to it so far, and then what's going to be done to it going forward. First of all, I saw the car advertised, I think it was on eBay. I noticed that it was on an F reg, which is obviously unusual. Now, at that time, that would have either been a DVLA mistake, or it was representing that it was an early car. So at that time, I thought, well, we've got to go and have a look. So got the trailer, headed over there, had a look at the car. At that time, I didn't fully understand how to read the chassis numbers and work out how early the car was, but there were some things that were telling me it was an early car. So the deal was made, got the car back, and then we started looking around and started doing a bit more research on working out how early this car is. Now, if I just take you to the VIN plate. Zoom in on there. So we ignore the 1 and the 0, and this 2331 represents what number this car is off the production line. So it's number 2331. Now the story goes that 2,500 cars were made in the first month of production, which, if memory serves me correctly, I think is April 89. So 2,500 were made, and then they stopped production for several months before then continuing. So this is one of the first 2,500 cars made in that first month of production. There's a few differences. The one I noticed straight away is this hole is obviously not there. On any car from the later production, it's got a hole there. We also have the sometimes unfavourable short-nose crank engine, but the actual fact is what it is. Its proper name is lightweight sports crank. So these engines, they're actually more revvy. They actually perform quite nicely if you want to keep the car standard, which obviously is what's going to happen with this one. There's other things that are going to be a little bit more difficult to show you today. The spring top mounts, they don't cup the springs like they do on any of the later cars, so they're slightly different. We have the catches on the hard top. This is obviously the original hard top as well. They're gloss black as opposed to the satin black that you see on any of the others. That's one of the differences.
You just sort of pick that out.
You might be able to pick it up better on the soft top here. You can see it through the hard top. So they're gloss black. What else is there? The differential casing. If we get underneath, I'll just grab a torch. Might make it a bit easier. So yeah, underneath here, the differential casing, there's no fins on it, completely smooth differential casing, so that's another difference. And I'm probably forgetting some of them. It's been a while since I've looked at it. So yeah, you know, we had a bit of a dilemma with what to do to this car, whether to do a full nut and bolt restoration or not. That's not the route we're going to go. We've done all the welding, seals have been done. It only had really minor rust on the seals anyway. There was a little bit of welding was done behind the driver's side front wing, and that was all that was needed welding wise, really. What we're sort of planning to do now is the engine bay. It needs a good clean up. So and where brake fluid's been put into it in the past, they've leaked brake fluid onto the paint there, so it's taken all the paint off. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this engine bay stripped out, and the engine bay is going to be painted, all the alley parts are going to be cleaned up, and then the car's also going to get a full repaint, just to make it how it should be really, and get it right for the future. The wheels obviously aren't standard, so they're getting changed to some daisies. We're kind of trying to look for some date stamped daisies, 89, so they'll be correct to the car. We have actually got those, some reconditioned ones already, so they might end up going on it. And then we might find some 89s to sell with the car.
Have we mentioned that this car has just been sitting in one of our storage units?
Yeah, well
we haven't spent any time cleaning it up for this video. This is basically how it is, but it's generally a tidy car. It's been, you know, our storage unit isn't the best. It's a bit dusty in there, and you know, as a result, that's kind of why it looks as it is. We've literally just driven it out of there this morning to start getting cracking on it. And as you can see from the tax disc, the last time it was on the road was September 14. So it's been off the road for 4.5 years. So next step is get the engine bay all stripped out. We'll leave the engine in. We'll just strip out the parts around it and get it so we can get it painted. And then we've already actually, when we were doing work on it before, the front end is actually all loose, ready for painting. And then we'll get the back end all stripped down. Things like these will probably, when it comes to rebuild, we'll probably put new door top moulds, although these aren't actually too bad, but we probably will put new door top mouldings on and things like that. We think the actual soft top is the original soft top as well, but we'll check that when we get into it. So yeah, I think that's about all we've got to say on that really. So we'll keep watching. We'll give more updates on this, and yeah, you can watch its progress, and eventually, once it's all done, it will be going up for sale. So if anyone's interested in it, let us know, and we can start sort of having talks about figures and things like that. It is quite a unique car, and being that first month of production, its value is only going one way, and that's up pretty rapidly. So yeah, okay, so we'll catch you on the next one.